So far in this groundbreaking series of Party Poker Premier League, we've seen all of our players compete in the most widely seen version of the game, No Limit Hold'em. And tonight we see our first game of Pot Limit Omaha, a variety that's adored by the pros for its risk and reward qualities.
Seeing multiple games, it's a true face of poker.
It's not even the river yet, you're already complaining.
The high-stakes players play mixed games. They play multiple games where they're constantly changing games and they're trying to pick on the old games.
It's a tremendously exciting game. There's a lot of variance. You can get it all in with the best hand and then sadly not have the best hand at the river, which leads to a lot of tragedy, crying, blow-ups, poor sportsmanship, all the things we as viewers love to see in poker. What happened? I read a book. That's what the book said. It said, just push and push, especially if you're playing against Tony G.
A lot of action, a lot of bluffing, a lot of power poker.
Feel the power.
You have 4 cards in your hand, so it's hard not to have anything when you're betting.
I'm impressed, man. There's a lot more gambling going on. The best hand pre-flop doesn't have as big of an edge as the best hand pre-flop in No Limit.
I wish I could see the gears moving inside of Yevgeny's head.
The strongest players in the poker world, honestly, are the mixed game players.
Something to really look forward to, and I think it can really take poker to the next level.
It's Group A we're concentrating on tonight. The game is about to get underway in the Cottontail Lounge at the Playboy Club here in Mayfair. There were fireworks in their first heat. Who will lock horns again tonight?
Last time out in Group A, flamboyant characters made for a whirlwind match with Luke Schwartz in full voice.
Before we get started, man, I'm going to donk it off, I can tell.
Genius, baby. Wait till it is genius, genius, genius.
All I know is I'm all in with any two. And I'll hold them all the way. No Limit soldier for life.
Look how ugly this is. Look what I make you do.
Oh, I'm not talking anymore. I've got a hand.
I hate him. Oh, Max Pescatori. You won a tournament about 10 years ago, didn't you? I'm making a show, bro.
James Dempsey, using his double up card, took first place. Coming up, Group A, including Jennifer Tilly, Luke Schwartz, and Tony G.
Are you laughing at me?
Doesn't matter. At least I'm in the pot trying to win pots. You're not even playing any pots.
I won 1 pot.
I'm going to claw my way back from oblivion because that's the way it works.
You bullied me.
I read a book. That's what the book said.
Just winning every hand.
I'm scared.
I've showed heart and commitment in every hand.
No more chirpy, Miss Tilly.
It's not even the river yet, you're already complaining.
Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm such an idiot.
Sweet! On your bike.
Here's the league standings for Group A. Big score for James Dempsey, 16 points. Matt Giannetti having 6. Luke Schwartz with 4. Max Pescatori with 3. Tony G with 2. And Jennifer Tilly needs to get to work. She took a bagel.
It's round 2 of the Mixed Game Championships, and our 6 players are ready to play Pot Limit Omaha. Only Max Pescatori has used his double up card. That means he gets double the points for this game. Good luck to everybody.
Well, it is time for Omaha, Group A, second heat, and quite exciting, Mike. I think not only because Omaha's not seen much on TV in a tournament fashion, but also a lot of these players, we only know them as Hold'em players.
Well, no question about it. Omaha's the action-oriented poker game. We all know that because you get 4 cards instead of 2. The trick is you must play 2 from your hand and 3 from the board, and that's where some players get confused. You must play 2 from your hand and 3 from the board. So if the king, queen, jack, 10 of spades is on the board and you have the ace of spades, you do not have a royal flush.
Now, when you talk about who of these 6 in Group A would be the Omaha players, I know Max Pescatori's actually won a bracelet in Pot Limit Omaha, and James Dempsey's quite a good 8-game player. You have to expect that they know what they're doing here in a tournament situation.
Yeah, no question about it. And Matt Giannetti also claims to be a very good Omaha player. So
5 raised to 21,000. Take 1 call.
I'm excited.
Well, this pot's already big. Now, remember, it's pot limit betting. There's 43,000 in the pot, and Jennifer can only bet up to 43,000 on the flop. She's got trouble because Tony G's flopped 3 10s.
Oh, I can't believe she's going to bluff at this pot with nothing.
And why is that, Mike? In Hold'em, you'd do this every time, wouldn't you?
Well, she's hoping that Tony's got 2 aces or 2 queens, something like that. and she's hoping he doesn't have a 10 in his hand. It's very difficult to call. You don't have a 10 in your hand unless you got a pair of kings in your hand, you know, when somebody leads out in bets, especially somebody that never plays the game. So Tony's worried that he's beaten right here. You know, he's got a big hand, but he's scared to death she's got 3 10s with an ace kicker. And notice he's going to check it down.
River card, Jennifer Tilly drawing dead. She's going to have to just give up here because I don't think she can win this pot. Mike, can she get a bet through here?
I believe if she bet this pot, if she bet 100,000 in this pot, I believe she would win the pot. Believe it or not, even though Tony's just got, he's got 3 10s.
Wow.
But she's going to have to make a big bet to win it.
She can't bet more than 100,000, but she can bet anything up to and including that.
You must bet the size of the big blind up to the size of the pot. And she is trying to win this pot. She's got 50,000, and Tony quickly calls her, and he's going to take down the pot with the 3 10s.
Fully qualified.
And Jennifer Tilly, she just got stuck in that one, Mike. Is there a lesson to be learned there? Is it very tough to get the bluffs through in Omaha?
No,
well, the lesson to be learned is she better go back in her cubbyhole. And her strategy of coming in and playing rock solid, try to pick up a few points, has just gone south.
That was
Let's take a look at how you play discipline number 2 of the Mixed Game Championship, Pot Limit Omaha. In Omaha, each player receives 4 cards face down. These are known as hole cards. The action follows the same rules as Hold'em. Each player has the option to either call to match the big blind, to raise, or to fold their hand. Once all players have acted, 3 community cards are dealt face up on the table. These are known as the flop. Another round of betting follows. Players can either check their hand, which means no bet, raise a previous bet, or fold. Once the flop action is complete, another community card is dealt, the turn. Another round of betting follows, and the final community card, the river, is dealt. One more round of betting follows. Players are looking to make the best 5-card poker hand using their hole cards and the 5 shared community cards. The difference in Omaha is that each player must use precisely 2 of their 4 hole cards together with precisely 3 of the community cards to make their best hand. A hand can be won either by all other players folding to one player or by players showing down their cards and the best hand taking the pot. As it's pot limit, there is a cap on the betting and you cannot commit your whole stack. Players can only bet or raise an amount equal to or less than the size of the current pot.
You know what?
It's
okay.
amazing how much Tony's mood is related, Mike, to his chip count. I mean, look at the smile. Listen to him.
See, you bullied me.
When?
You dominated me.
When did I bully you?
With the betting.
With the what?
With the betting. You were betting all the way. You were pushing.
I read a book. That's what the book said. It said, just push and push.
Don't worry, this pot's going to be raised by Tony.
Yeah, this is actually, is this considered a premium sort of hand, Mike?
This is a premium Omaha hand.
Why is it?
Because you have big cards, you've got the nut flush draw, the double suited,
Not a bad strategy.
3-card big
You had
straight,
probably 2 times you had a chance to win it.
ace high flush and a king high flush draw. You're definitely popping this one up.
Well, James Dempsey's made what's a 3-bet. It's a re-raise, and I'm not exactly sure. Is he trying to represent a pair of aces, Mike? What is this about?
Well, this is a misplay in my mind.
It's a Hold'em play, isn't it?
It's a cry and call hand if you're going to do anything with it. And now it's come king 4 deuce. Notice Tony G's flopped the top 2 pair.
And now what do you do with Tony G's hand here, Mike? How strong is 2 pair? He doesn't have a flush draw. How strong is this hand?
It's very strong when a guy re-raises you before the flop.
Okay, because you put the guy on aces.
Yeah, 2 aces. You've got the top 2 pair.
And will Tony G be a little bit wary of the clubs?
Well, now an ace comes off.
One check.
He's got aces and kings, so he improved his hand, but it's not a card he really wanted to see come off because he is a little fearful with the 3-bet pre-flop that his opponent might have 2 aces in his hand, meaning he would now have 3 aces.
And, you know, the interesting thing, obviously, Dempsey is basically just bluffing stone cold. He's got to draw to a straight. That's the only thing he can hit to win, that or a 10, a jack or a 10.
Right.
But I mean, there is a lot of cards where it turns out we're a big bet on the river. If it comes a club, Dempsey could win this by bluffing, right?
He certainly could.
Does he know that?
I mean, Tony G's put himself in that position, and that's even a scare card because he can now make a straight.
You think, should Dempsey be betting here? There's $233K out there.
If I had 16 points like him, I'd go ahead and empty out right here. If I played the hand right now.
Empty the shotgun. Dempsey's got 180-odd thousand in front of him. He can't bet the whole pot, but he could make it serious. He
took too long. Tony G would have absolutely looked him up here with aces and kings after the man took that much time to bet.
Ace, king, 4.
And I believe Tony will tell James Dempsey, that he needed to have some heart and commitment to the game if he wanted to win that pot.
It's already a fold. You can't get that back.
Tell him, Tony. Now look at that hand. I mean, Mike, James Dempsey, at no point did he really have a hand worth betting, but he thought he could take Tony off it, did he?
Well, he 3-bet before the flop and just kept firing on the flop and the turn, but with the top 2 pair in the flop and the top 2 pair in the turn, Tony G in his position, I believe he was there forever.
We're back after the break with more from the Premier League Mixed Game Championship. Welcome back. The Omaha match is being played out now for Group A, with the players being awarded points for where they finish. It's 8 for the win, 6 for the runner-up, and then 3, 2, 1, and the bagel, that's 0. At the end of the season, it'll be the top 3 players in each group that goes through to the final table, where one will take home $100,000, a seat in the Premier League Season 5, and the title of Mixed Game Champion.
Bet against himself? Well, when he needs it most, sometimes Tony G comes up trumps. Look at him. He's already nearly doubled his stack.
Well, he has put himself in good position here at this Omaha final here. I mean, he's just where he wants to be right now in total command. Some people hanging on to try to pick up a few points, and he can just distance himself by accumulating chips here, where he is going to be able to finish in first or second place in this heat and get right back in the thick of things to advance to the final.
It's one of those shake things, isn't it? Trying to put the square in the circle.
But I give Tony G credit for understanding the situation. He knows where he's at. Doesn't care if it goes out 6th, 5th, 4th, or 3rd. He knows you got to get to first or second place to have any chance to go to the final.
Absolutely right, Mike, and he's done it the right way. He's looking at flops. He's taking them cheap, and it's paid off. Got action, didn't he? This is just Tony G putting on pressure from position. Is that right?
It is. Not that great of a hand. He has no flush draws in his hand. He just knows the ones that came in the pot already are tight players, and he's going to try to take them down here.
And Giannetti stuck in a re-raise.
Well, he's got the aces.
That must be a good play.
And you can pretty much put a guy on aces here. That's the problem. When you raise with 2 aces, certain times it's very obvious that you have them. Everybody knows you have them, and therefore they'll take a flop, knowing if they hit something on the flop that beats aces, you're liable to do all your money.
Not on a re-raise.
You're absolutely right, Mike. So you're saying that Tony G,
I'm sure he's very confident that Matt's got 2 aces here. He's looking to catch those middle connecting cards where he can tap Matt Giannetti out of this tournament. And he got him. He flopped 2 pair.
Oh, my gosh. He certainly did. Money's going in right now, isn't it?
All right, I got some of that. 120.
Well, he's not going to check raise. He's just leading out for 120,000. And essentially, Matt is going to have to commit all his chips if he's going to play this pot, I believe.
Now,
that's about half the size of his stack. If you're going to go with it, you know you're going to have to go for all your chips.
I mean, I do wonder, Mike, how does the tournament considerations come into this right now? Giannetti, who's got 6 points, he'll have his card, his double-up card in the last tee, but the last thing he wants is 0 points now.
Matt's faced a tough decision here, and he knows even if Tony's got a flush and a straight draw, he's a favorite over 2 aces. He lays down the aces, and Tony G takes down that pot. And that's the problem when you 3-bet and 4-bet before the flop. Everybody knows you've got 2 aces, and they know how to play against you.
Look at Tony G's chip tracker. It's only been 15 hands. Mike, at this rate, we're not even going to last 2 levels. This heat's going to be done. it's the kind of game, Mike, where if you haven't played it much before, every hand looks like it's got potential, doesn't it? But what is it? I mean, what exactly are you looking for? You know, I think there used to be some kind of point count system people used to assign to these hands.
Well, the truth is, Omaha is a game of straights and flushes. You're generally trying to make straights and flushes. That's what wins most pots playing Omaha. Pairs, other than ace or kings, you know, they're not that valuable.
A couple hands.
See one calls.
Now, Luke Schwartz has a premium hand here. He raised to 6,000. He's got the double suited, ace, king, jack, big cards.
You have to have a lot of discipline in this game.
Can't believe Jennifer Tilly threw this hand away either.
Ace, king, deuce, 9.
Double suited.
Wow.
But she did. And Tony called with absolute Garfunkel. Pretty much so, anyway. He could get himself in big trouble in this hand. And that's come 8-6 deuce. Lucas flopped a pair, obviously, but not the kind of hand you're looking for.
And, I mean, Luke will be well aware that Tony G is going to be looking to put pressure on him.
Yeah, he could easily get raised right out of this pot right here, right now, even though Tony has absolutely zip and pip.
640,000 worth of zip and pip.
He has made the call here with just 2 8s. He's got the best hand with 2 8s. He's flopped the top pair.
But his plan is to try and represent whatever becomes the nuts, you think.
Well, he's trying to make 2 pair here. I'm sure he puts Luke on a big pair. Now he's made 3 8s.
Oh, no,
this is unbelievable.
He is a golden child tonight.
Yeah. Lucas made a flush draw here. But if he fires out another shell, it could be bad news for Luke. I can assure you, Tony G is not only not going anywhere, I'll be surprised if he doesn't raise the pot right here.
32,000.
Well, Tony has just called. He has not raised it here.
One calls.
Thing is, Tony's got so many chips he can.
Well,
he can afford to make a loose
catch
call
a
on the
diamond that doesn't pair. Now, that's a scare card, honestly, for Tony G, but it's also a scare card for Luke. He's fearful that Tony G has the straight draw.
Okay.
Well, Tony's going to check it down and win the pot with the 3 8s.
So you think Luke Schwartz might have tried to rob the wrong guy with the wrong kind of board, and Tony missed a bet on the river, perhaps.
It's a nice cool free flop, bro.
Yeah.
that's a beautiful. I did re-raise it.
Yeah, they're all laughing at Tony's hand right now. As I said, certainly not a hand you want to get too involved with in Omaha before the flop.
Is it 3 pass?
It's pairs are really bad.
3 go to the hand.
This is the first time that maybe some people have ever seen Omaha on TV, and they may actually be witnessing a world record here.
5 raised to 6,000.
Well, let's just reinforce everybody. When you play Omaha, you're dealt 4 cards in your hand. You must play 2 of them out of your hand, and you must play 3 off the board. So you have to be very careful not to get confused. If 4 diamonds come up and you have the ace of diamonds, you don't have it flush unless you have a second diamond in your hand.
And now here's a spot, Gianetti, he's decided to just call with the aces from the big blind. Why, Mike?
Well, he's hoping somebody raises again where he can get all his chips in the pot. But he got burned the last time he had the 2 aces. That might have something to do with it. And this is not the flop he was looking for. It's come 8-7-4 with 2 diamonds.
Looks like Jennifer Tilly's
this is
stepped up to bat. This is the stone cold bluff. I mean, she's got a pair of 8s, but
she's got top pair, which is absolutely silly with a possible flush and a possible straight out there.
She's going to take it.
And I'll tell you, I don't see how you can call her with just 2 aces here. But he's doing it. Matt Gianetti has made this call with just 2 aces. He does have a gut shot straight draw.
And a backdoor flush draw, which I don't know exactly what the value of that is. It's gonna become a lot more valuable now.
Yeah, and now he has another straight draw as well as a flush draw. So that actually a helpful card for him. But on the other hand, it gives Jennifer 2 pair. And I would expect her to put big pressure on this pot.
All right, Jennifer's looking at her hand. The 8 and 3 she could use for 2 pair. The king jack she could use for a flush draw. Little does she know that Janetti's got the ace flush draw to her king. She probably thinks she needs to hit a spade. It's the last thing she wants to hit. And
well, she bet about half the size of the pot. She bet 25,000.
Call.
And Matt's going to make the call here.
Well, if the spade comes, it's all gonna fall apart.
Yeah, for Jennifer, it will for sure.
And Gianetti's.
Well, neither player going to like that card.
Wow.
Yeah, you could see a guy bluffing at it if he had the ace of diamonds in his hand. He has no diamond in his hand at all. But if he puts her on a straight, he's going to try to get her off of it by betting here. He has done it. This is incredible.
I mean, is this sort of a desperation move, or is this very sophisticated? What do you make of this?
Well, I think that he's put Jennifer on a straight, sometime a straight draw, and just hoping if she doesn't have diamonds, she'll go away. I mean, there's such straight possibilities and flush possibilities. What a bet by Matt Gianetti right there. That is unbelievable.
Mike,
and to think that she would throw the hand away if she did have a straight.
That is, that's either top-class Omaha or something else, right?
Well, I got news for you. I'm surprised he called the bet on the flop. I could see why he called it on the turn, even though he had 3 spades in his hand. He did have a straight draw and a flush draw, but to fire out a bet on the end there for nearly 50,000 is pretty shocking to me. I got to tell you the truth.
I was doing a little acting there. I was trying to make it look like I made a really big laydown. I was pretty sure you made your flush. But I thought it would look good if it looked like I was making a really big laydown.
We'll be back after the break for more from the first Pot Limit Omaha match of the Mixed Game Championship from London.
Welcome back to the Omaha game here at the Party Poker Premier League Poker Mixed Game Championship. Tony G running away with this one so far. It's the first level over. Amazing we still have 6 players, Mike, with the chips that have moved here.
A lot of action in Omaha, folks. It's a fun game to play and a fun game to watch.
Tony G obviously delighted with his start, but Pescatori, who's the only player using the double up card in this heat, pretty happy. He's in second position right now.
Yeah, in second place, but I'm sure you're not happy at the end of level 1 when you don't have your buy-in.
That's true. Lines up to 2 and 4,000, and obviously it's still early, Mike. But you just think about what would happen to the standings if the players finished in the way their chips now stand.
I'm sure Max would love to finish in second at this table.
How good are you? I thought you didn't have him. I thought for a second.
Right now, you'd much rather have 600,000 in chips than a pair of aces. That's for sure.
Say it's 3 calls, say it's 4 calls.
Oh, 2 calls
6 toss.
from Pescatori and James Dempsey.
And Jennifer as well.
And I don't know if Tony's called there or if he's decided to try and punish them.
And he's made the call, and so is Max.
I want to win this pot.
Me.
Probably Dempsey.
Oh, yeah.
I think he made a little raise just to make things interesting.
At least I make the pots exciting. Pretty much just what matters.
Kelly is playing a hand that you don't ever want to play and hold him. She's got the gappers and the, you know, a king eye flush draw. It's just not a good hand at all to be calling raises with in Omaha. Flop comes ace jack 9.
Well, Mac Pescatori made 2 pair on top pair on the flop, and now Tony's picked up the nut flush draw on the turn.
And he also has 2 pair.
Right.
He thinks he's got the best hand. Everybody checked on the flop.
Pescatori's he's got about 270,000 in front of him. Tony's bet 40. You know, what does he want to do here? How strong is his 2 pair? There's a lot of cards on the river that'll...
Well, because he's used his double up card, he just doesn't want to jeopardize it in case somebody's got a set right now. So he's just calling, making these crying calls. He's got the best hand with aces and jacks.
There's so many cards on the river, though, that is going to scare him, aren't there?
That's not one of them.
No, it's not.
His opponent's got aces full. That's a bad card for Tony, and he knows it. He's going to check. He can get away from this hand now. Had a deuce or a 6 or something like that come off. I think Tony would have paid him off with the aces up, but now Tony can easily get away from this hand.
Yeah, I guess he must just be figuring out how much to bet.
You have to hope your opponent has 3 4s or 3 9s and has a full house as well.
And the only thing Tony can beat is a whole bunch of busted draws and wraps and all kinds of things like that.
He can beat nothing now but a bluff.
Right.
His opponent's got king, queen, 10 with a hard draw. That's the only hand he can beat. There's no other hand he can beat. I don't see Tony calling this at all, especially against a tight player like Max. No, he throws it away.
And for Pescatore, that was a perfect river card from his point of view. I know there was somewhere he could have gotten some money out of Tony, but he would have had to sweat a few bolts to do it.
In case a harder a 4 would have come off of there, Max Pescatore would not have liked the way he played that hand.
That's what Mike was saying.
And now, look at this moment. Tony, with the decision.
Ace Jack? Maybe. Maybe even better. No, not at the river.
He's right.
He's the same before.
Called Max's hand
not flush.
exactly there.
Not flush draw.
When Max won his first World Series of Poker bracelet, didn't he wrap himself in the Italian flag and run around Binions?
Oh, he did, yeah, he did. And usually Max wears a bandana on his head when he plays poker, but now he's got the spiked hair look, so I guess the bandana's put on the rail for a while.
He told me his new passion is racehorses. He owns a...
That'll get him broke faster than poker, I can tell you.
It's definitely, it's a great hobby for people who have too much money, isn't it?
Do you think like, you don't think Dave Shadow would be sat there not paying that? You'd be paying
He'd borrow to go pay.
You borrow to pay that.
Raise 10.
Borrow a grand, it's then borrows 2, pays back 1 hour both times, and goes in for 10.
Well, I think Jennifer is just finding the wheels coming off here now. This is a pretty poor hand as well under the gun, isn't it, Mike? The 2 deuces.
Just horrible to play under the gun.
It looks pretty, you can see.
I know you have 2 flush draws, but usually if you're betting when the flush cards are out there, somebody's got a bigger flush than you. So it's just not that good of a hand.
When things start going downhill in Omaha, all the hands look a little bit pretty, but it doesn't make them good.
Well, obviously, like any poker game, when you lose a lot of pots in a row and you steam a little bit, you play hands that you probably shouldn't play in hopes you get lucky to get your chips back. Jennifer doing that here.
Now, Tony could easily have swelled that pot, and Dempsey would have been willing. He's got the middle set.
He's got a great hand here.
Check.
He is checking, trying to trap. Somebody bets he is going to raise it, believe me.
Tony did not fall for this trap.
He made the nuts. He's made the 10 high straight.
And Dempsey's made the 8 high straight. He's got the second nuts. He's going to pay the price, Mike.
Say goodbye to James, folks.
Tony has...
Yesterday's champion will be first out today.
Wow.
Make no mistake about it.
Tony has trussed him up like a zombie.
Notice Tony G has the best hand possible right now. The 7-9 gives him a 10 high straight. There's no hand that can beat it. There's no flush possibility and no bigger straight possibility. And James Dempsey will be hard-pressed to get away from this hand. He slow played the 3 10s all the way, and it's come back to bite him here.
Boy, how much is this going to turn the group upside down? Dempsey, if he takes the bagel here, 0 points, Mike, everybody is going to be back in this, and there's a chance to think that everybody will be in this going in the last heat now. Or is it going to be the other way around? It might be the other way around, isn't it?
Well, I didn't like Dempsey's style when he started out this final table.
I don't think you ever raising without 7-9. I don't think you can ever have 7-9.
Seems to be between a rock and a hard place.
Well, he's right. His analysis is spot on. You just can't imagine Tony would check an open-end straight draw a couple times.
Can't imagine you'd ever raise me without the nuts, and I can't believe you have the nuts. It's the unstoppable force and the immovable object. I think his head's going to explode.
Someone would have thought he re-raised him 100,000 cash from the river here.
It's a cheaper spot. You can't have 7-9 and when you raise
He's raised you about $1 million in full blood cash here.
Wow, what a good lay down by James Dempsey. That impressed me, he could lay that hand down.
He finally decided which was the stronger force.
I'm about to say, like, this guy. It's a good thing he chose his double points in this game. He's got no idea what he's talking about.
Really?
What difference is ace-5 and a straight there? Do you think he's raising with a set?
So?
So if I have a straight or ace-5, then I have
2-9, we get 7-9.
Okay. Well, now he's trying to justify his fold to everybody else at the table.
Good concept. I
mean, for those of you just tuning in, you get points as you're eliminated in certain positions. You get 0 for 6th place. Then you get 1 for 5th, and 2 for 4th, and 3 for 3rd. Then it jumps up to 6 and 8 for 1st and 2nd. And your mission is to accumulate points. After 3 rounds, the top 3 point getters advance to the final table. So really, it's as much about strategy and tactics as it is about actually playing proper poker.
It's the definition of temptation. Both Dempsey and Tilly had 100 reasons to just sit there and do nothing. And then an Omaha game broke out, and they decided that every hand looked pretty. And it looks like Dempsey, he's re-raised here, so he's willing to get it in here against Tony G, and he's not going to be happy. Do you think this is a loose play, or given how much Tony's been raising, are the queens okay?
No. This is going to get re-raised for sure. There you go. He's going to set him all in. And this time, Tony G has it. He's got the 2 aces, and James Dempsey is going to have to get lucky to outdraw him to stay alive in this heat.
Boy, he has. This has gone all wrong for Dempsey. We're going to have to look at how the leaderboard is affected, Mike, but it's going to turn things upside down, that's for sure.
Well, what Dempsey has going for him is he does have live cards here.
Probably going to hit the 5 of hearts.
He could backdoor flush here and backdoor straight to win this pot. He's looking for a queen to take the lead.
You need to work with the hearts.
5 of hearts, man.
22% equity.
Deuce of hearts is not a card I want to see.
It's not terrible.
5s actually are 2 black 5.
Well, James Dempsey needing help. He is all in.
5 of hearts would be a great card for him, obviously.
Well, the ace of hearts comes off.
Great card for the
That's probably the best card.
Now, at least this gives James Dempsey some wins. He must catch a heart that doesn't pair the board, but he's got a shot to win it. Doesn't happen as the 9 comes off. Tony G makes aces full of 9s.
Good luck. On your bike. On my go.
And for James Dempsey, he's going to have to do some thinking. After the first heat, he thought he had done all the work he needed to do. Mike, he's going to have to show up at the office in heat number 3. And who knows what he's going to have to do. He may have to do some work.
One player is gone in this heat of the Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championship. Back for more after the break. Welcome back. It's the bagel. That's 0 points for James Dempsey, and we have 5 left at the table as we return to the felt with your commentators Mike Sexton and Jesse May.
I think Pescatori's been very clever to use his double-up card here. He's not been in much danger, Mike. He seems to have a good grasp on trying to how to ladder up in these things. I like his chances.
Well, I'm going to be like Max. I can tell you right now, I'll be using my double-up card in the pot limit Omaha as well. And I'm sure I'll be the only one at the table that's using it there. So let's see what happens to him here.
9 or 10.
11.
We're only about halfway through the second level, but feels like a lot of Omaha's has been played.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Every day I'm shuffling.
And that's a good hand Pescatori's got right there.
Indeed it is. About as good as you're going to pick up playing pot limit Omaha. Ace, king, queen, 4 double suited.
Big raise. That's another one of your big raises.
Raise to 10,000.
Tony, What he's doing, Mike, and I don't exactly know what the strategy is behind it. He's putting these small raises in just to swell the pot. Why is he doing that? Is he trying?
Notice that Max, with the premium hand he's got, just limped in before the flop and just calls the raise.
Right.
He just is trying to play small ball right now. Wants to keep the pot small until he makes a hand. Just doesn't want to jeopardize chips, especially because he's used his double up card here. So he's going to look at a flop where he puts more money in.
Right. Nothing's too strong
in
before
case
the
black
flop.
cards come up. Well,
Check you.
Well, Pescatori's got the nut flush draw.
and it's come Jack 8-3 with 2 clubs.
Luke Schwartz has got a couple of straight draws.
And Luke is reaching for chips here. He's looking for a gut shot 10.
6, bet 32.
And now, is this a hand that Pescatori has to play? I mean, can you ever fold a nut flush draw?
Well, you can. Now, here's the problem. You can either raise right here. If you just call and miss the flush, most likely your opponent's going to bet again, and the bet will be so big that you won't be getting the right price to make the call. So now if a 10 comes off, we see that Luke will have a straight, but there's no way Max would get away from the hand because he'd have such a big draw, you could never get away from it. And
You
there
called
is.
it. You called it.
There's the 10.
Now Luke's got the nut hand here, but Pescatori's draw, as you said, is massive, Mike. Right? Any ace, any queen, any king, any club,
and any 9.
Any 9.
114,000.
It's a bigger drawing hand as you can possibly have.
And yet, look at the odds. He's behind. He's drawing, but he's 40%. That's strong, though, isn't it?
Bet 6.
And this is Schwartz's tournament right here as well.
100,000.
I mean, remember, you can win this pot with an ace, a king, a queen, a 9, or a club. That's a lot of cards you can win the pot with.
Right, and he knows because they're all nut draws, aren't they? So it's not even maybe.
Any hand he makes will be the best hand possible. Now, obviously,
but you think
I take it back a little bit because of the heart situation. He doesn't have a heart in his hand. He's fearful if he called the ace, king, queen, or 9 of hearts, that he might not have the best hand.
And he might be facing a bet at that stage.
For sure, if it was the 10 of diamonds in there, there's 0 chance he could get away from this hand. But maybe the hearts might scare him just a little bit here. But still, I don't know how you can get away from this hand. Well, Max lays it down.
That's either a sign of confidence in Max's own game, that he has confidence in his own game, or
it just shows you it's 1,000%. He's just waiting to make a hand before he gets money in the pot, not looking to gamble, if at all possible.
Among other things, one, you're luckier than me, so I put that in the consideration of my evaluation of the hand.
We're still 5-handed here, Mike, but plenty of chip movement. What do you foresee for this level?
Well, I say pretty much the same thing that's going to happen. Tony G's in position now where he wants to be, where he can get to play heads up for this title, so he's toned it back a little bit. Max Pescatori, obviously not playing any hands. He's the guy using the double up card. He's just trying to survive till we get down to 3 players before he steps it up, and it's going to be fun to see what happens.
I guess Giannetti and Luke Schwartz are the wild cards right now then, as far as they got medium stacks, and they both can use some points. Well, Mike, I know you're watching Pescatori quite closely, because if you do use the Omaha, your card for the Omaha in the next Group B heat, you're going to have a lot of situations probably similar to the ones he's facing.
This strategy could work well for Max. We shall see.
Slap me in the face. There's the aces.
2 call.
Much more? 24 total?
Yeah, 12.
So nice partner.
Well, Tony G, and he's done this so often from the big blind, like just made these minimum re-raises. Just, I think, get people a little bit uncomfortable, get the pot to his size. I guess that's his plan. He's done a lot. I don't know if it's
He's got an ace that's worthless in his hand here at the moment.
Yeah.
But look at this. He's flopped the top 2 pair and a straight draw.
Of course he has.
But 2 diamonds are out there. And as you can see, Jennifer's flopped a straight draw and a flush draw.
And both of them are kind of half-hearted. The jack-high flush draw, the bottom end of the straight draw.
They're very weak, but when you call pre-flop raiser with this kind of hand, that's what you're going to have to end up gambling with.
And she doesn't even have a pot-sized bet. Mike, you think she's going to have to go with this?
Oh, boy. I think that she probably will go with it against Tony.
She's actually...
she's got a pair, a gut shot straight draw, and a flush draw. And if you're going to call a pre-flop raise with Queen Jack 4-3, you got to be willing to gamble with that kind of hand.
Oh, she may end up getting a free card here, which will be great. Actually, she'd be way better off just sticking her money in now, right? Having a chance to...
Well, I agree. She should have just moved in right there. With everybody checking to her, now the deuce of hearts comes off. Well, Luke has one pair of sevens, is all he has.
What is he thinking? What is the...
He's thinking everybody checked on the flop so he doesn't give him a straight.
I can get this through? I can have the straight here? Boy, this is the amazing thing.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Tony does here. If Tony opts to go with this hand with the top two pair, which he might, there's a chance that Jennifer Tilly may not even get a chance to play this hand. Well, I think Tony's mistake was not betting on the flop here.
Yeah.
He raised before the flop. He flopped the top two pair. Why not bet out and find out where you're at? See, now he's lost, doesn't know where he's at, and he goes away.
Go with it. Go with it, Jennifer. Look at this. She's 76%. Even though she's behind, Mike, she's got that many cards to win.
Probably joined dead, but how much more is it?
That's unbelievable. He's calling a raise here with two sevens and could win this pot with the two sevens.
He thinks he's drawing dead.
It's not even more problem.
He's getting...
Well, he's afraid that she's got ace four.
But he's getting like 35 to 1 on this. All he needs like is one card in the deck.
If you bluff that.
Cool, yeah, cool.
You call?
Oh, cool, 7K more.
Not
Yeah.
flush draw and a hard straw.
He's got the best hand. He's going to be shocked when he sees it. Look.
Yes. The black card.
Unbelievable. I think if there had been 3 more thousand, he wouldn't have made the call.
Absolutely right. If Jennifer goes out here, it's going to be a calamity. She needs to hit. She actually needs to hit.
Any red card to win it for.
Wow,
Any 3, any ace, any 6.
A queen or
any
jack.
queen, any jack.
I'm trying to think what Luke needs. I think he's good with a 7.
Well, she's going to win it with the flush.
She hit it.
But Luke was wild that he had a chance to win that pot.
But, okay, this is not a good time to ask. But doesn't my 3-4 play? No.
I go with the flush.
Oh no, I'm going with the
Jennifer,
flush.
please.
I thought
Jennifer, you don't have to sell yourself anymore. They're convinced you're a rookie at this game.
We believe you.
She's just joking for you at home. She knew that.
No, I knew.
We have seen very little Omaha tournaments on TV.
6,000 more.
What?
Myself included, expected this to be sort of
No,
a
even
wham-bam job, where the players might just shove all the chips in and not even get to the big blinds. But it's just like anything else, isn't it? Tournament strategy takes over, and
Well, because of the point structure, the way this format is set up, you just can't afford to go out 6th or 5th in these heats and try to advance to the final. These players know it. That's why players generally tight early on in these heats, because nobody wants to go out first.
Not to get aces.
And I guess one of the great things about this mixed game championship is that each game does take slightly different talents as far as being good. You got to be aggressive, but you also got to be know when to be patient.
Unless you pop.
Luke Schwartz has raised this with the 2 kings, and calling has broken out all over.
And look at this, Jennifer Tilly.
You said she had no business.
Unbelievable.
Oh no, she's in trouble. She's got the low straight. Janetti's got the nuts, I think.
He does have. Both have a flush draw. Jennifer's is bigger, of course.
Well, they're going to get the money in here, Mike, aren't they? They have to.
80. 6 pass.
Oh, Matt Gianetti's going to get it in, that's for sure. He's gone all in with the nuts.
Well, Jennifer can hardly pass. She's got the 7 high straight, the king high flush draw.
Flush draw.
And, well, she's in a bit of trouble.
I got really excited because I forgot that you have to use 2 cards out of your hand. I call.
Gianetti's got a premium Omaha hand where you got 4 consecutive straight cards in your hand.
You got flush. You have a better flush draw.
Oh,
okay.
you
have a better straight draw. The king too.
He's vulnerable, and Jennifer Tilly has 117,000 back. Janetti is all in. Now, he is the favorite here, Mike, but this is a sweat for him. This is a sweat.
Well, the 4 hearts gives him a straight flush. Any other heart will win it for Jennifer.
Okay.
What would really help
An
you.
8.
A date with an 8?
Yeah.
An 8.
An 8 or a heart. She's got a 8.
8's a chop.
It's red. It's nearly 50-50.
Really?
So is it red?
Red!
8. There you go.
There it is. An 8. Now she's on a total free roll here other than the 4 hearts.
Well,
unbelievable.
Giannetti does have 2 pairs here, Mike.
Oh, yes, that's right. He's got the top 2 pair. He can make a full house. 8's full of 7s.
Queen of hearts. Queen of hearts. Heart!
There it is.
It is a heart. Unbelievable. Matt Giannetti has gone out. He flopped the nuts where he couldn't get counterfeited on the straight with the straight flush draw. He is out in 5th place. Unbelievable.
Who would have thought it? And you said it, Mike. You need the points in the hand. Giannetti, he's only going to take 1 point for this heat. He looked so strong early on. He is going to be under pressure at the end.
Lady Luck shining on the lady right there.
He puts me in a tough spot.
Matt Giannetti has fallen in the Omaha round, and I'm sure it didn't go the way you thought it would go. Talk to us about your game today.
I mean, I played my game, got it all in with the nuts, with the redraw, and she had about 6 outs to win. So like I said earlier, Omaha's going to be a lot of luck, and that's why I didn't use my doubling card. So I'm glad I didn't, and hopefully I'll do better in the Parliament Hold'em section.
All players now guaranteed at least 2 points in this heat. The only good news for Giannetti, of course, is that he still has his double up card. Mathematically, he's going to be well in this. So you look at the way he's kind of, these last couple levels, stacked his chips up neatly. He does not intend to give these away, does he? He's got them
He's
guarded.
put himself in position where he wants to be, where he can come in 1st or 2nd in this tournament.
He is such a trier.
6 cards.
Here he's got 4 hearts in his hand, but he's got a couple big cards, so he does raise it. Luke's got the kind of hand that he might want to see a flop with, and he does. And what a flop it is for Luke.
Diamonds.
He's flopped a straight draw, the nut flush draw, and his top pair. Even though at this moment, Tony's got the best hand, but...
Bet 26,000.
And is Luke's hand big enough to start raising, or...?
Yes, it is. If you think your opponent's just got a pair of aces or a pair of kings, even though he's got you out-kicked, as we say, you could put real pressure on him if you raise it here. He'd think he had aces and 9s at the least, maybe a set, for sure the nut flush draw.
As it is, I can't imagine Tony being able to go anywhere on this flop, but he's got the top 2.
Well, if Luke just calls here, he's going to give Tony a chance to win this pot.
See 6 cards.
Well, Tony's got the top 2 pair, so he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're basically flipping here, although the turn will tell all. And that's a great card for Tony G.
Check.
And he's fearful it made his opponent aces and jacks.
Check.
And that's why he's checked right there.
Now the
Doesn't want to fall any traps. He gives his opponent a chance to catch the diamond to beat him, or the 4 that would beat him. Nothing else will beat him.
Definitely unlikely either player to go broke anymore in this pot. That they had a chance to get the chips in on the flop, didn't they? Now it's
6 of hearts comes off. Tony G is going to win this pot with aces and 9s. That's a surrender play right there by Luke Schwartz.
Took a very low variance route there, didn't he? And he really can't beat anything, Mike, can he? I mean, is there any chance Tony's bluffing here?
Well, there's a chance he could have 2 kings and a king high flush draw. That's what Luke is thinking.
I think he had a 6. Wow, that's such a big hand on the flop and stuff.
Flush draw.
Flush draw, top pair, gut shot. Open-ended, wrap. 5 pair.
These are all Omaha terms he's throwing out there, folks. As it turns out, he's got 2 aces with a 7 kicker. That's his hand right now. And all he can beat is a stone bluff.
Possibly have jack 9 as well.
A lot of those hands don't seem to make as much sense. He's thinking maybe Tony would be quite happy to check a lot of 2 pairs back. He's
never going to bet. He called him.
He called him.
Thought he might have been bluffing.
He didn't think Tony would bet a weird 2 pair, did it?
Thought he might have made the straight draw and the flush draw on the turn or something. And
Yeah, ace deuce.
Not flush drawing an ace.
The players adjusting to Jennifer Tilly having gotten all these chips.
Well, just incredible. Jennifer playing Omaha for the first time probably ever. Reading a book before she got over here to learn how to play. The game was on the short stack with 6 players left. Has fought her way back into second chip position, and she's definitely the buzz of the tourney right now.
Next time, we'll see who prevails in this first Pot Limit Omaha match of the Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championship.
I've shown heart and commitment in every hand, and they've re-raised me every hand.
The advantage of Tony obliterating me is there's no more chirpy Miss Tilly.
How can I miss that? Sweet! Unreal!
She just doesn't let me win one hand. It's not even the river yet. You're already complaining.
What happened?